Hi, I'm Keith Severson, and welcome to the kitchen. Today, it smells like Sunday. We're going to make spaghetti and meatballs. Spaghetti sauce, a deep, rich tomato sauce, is known by many names and known very affectionately as red sauce, gravy, or even Sunday sauce. In fact, it's the inspiration for the name of this show. It's a traditional recipe, usually handed down from one to another, and so too today. We're going to make my mom's spaghetti sauce. What we'd like to start with are some bones. I've got a nice rib steak bone from a beef steak. I've got a pork chop that I've trimmed, and then this is a little secret ingredient that we'll let you in on. That's an Italian sausage. I've taken the casing off and chopped it up. We're going to go into our nice heavy skillet, a good sized saucepan that's going to hold the entire sauce for you today. So what we're going to do is put these bones in and brown them in the pan. We've got the meat and the bones inside here and they're browning nicely. This is the only time that I am going to put in black pepper. We put in a little salt to season the meat and then some black pepper to season the meat. The rest of my sauce I don't really add any black pepper. We generally have enough fat in here that I don't need to add any. But on occasion, you can add a nice, good quality olive oil, just a little bit in here at this point. When I'm adding olive oil like that, I try to add it around the edge of the pan. I don't want to add it right on top of the ingredients that are in the pan. So we've got the meat in the pan, browned nicely. It smells great in here already. We're going to start adding the vegetables. I've got a whole chopped onion, coarsely chopped, and it goes in on top of that. And I'm going to let that cook down for about 3 minutes. We've got the onions in, they've been in for about 3 minutes, and then we're going to add the garlic. 3 or 4 cloves, and it depends on how much garlic you like in your dish. I'm a big garlic fan. The next thing is a secret ingredient. This is one of my mom's secret ingredients. It's a pepperoncini pepper, cut very finely, 2, 3, depending on how hot you want it. This is one of the 2 heat profiles that we're going to add. The next one is chili flakes, dried chili flakes. This one was particularly hot, and so you want to add just a few, half a teaspoon or so. I want to add them at this point because I want the oils from those chilies to come into all of those vegetables before we get all the sauce on top. So I've got those in, keep them stirring and cooking down. The onions have sweated, the garlic is coming along nicely. Now I start to add a couple other sort of secret ingredients. From that pepperoncini jar, we're going to add just a little bit of vinegar. Again, teaspoon, nothing more. Now generally your tomatoes are going to be very sweet and there will be plenty of sweetness in the sauce, but I do want to add a little bit of sugar. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of sugar. This is going down on top of all of those vegetables before we've got any sauce in there. And now I'm going to add some red wine. A nice hearty red wine. I generally use a Burgundy, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, or something like that. We're going to use primarily canned tomato products, but these were so good I found a couple heirlooms and Romas, cord and seed, and just roughly chopped, so it adds a real nice spring flavor for those tomatoes. got a little bit of a stew going down here in the bottom. So at this point I want to keep adding herbs and flavorings. We've got a bay leaf that'll go in there. And so I'm going to add some dry basil now. I like a lot of basil in my spaghetti sauce, so I'm going to use a good handful to this and put it in there. And I want to add my oregano at this point. I'm going to add just about a teaspoon of oregano. I don't want too much in here because it'll overpower the entire thing. Next, I'm going to add some fresh herbs. This beautiful pile of basil that we've cut, it just smells great. And again, we're putting this in before we start getting all the sauces on top of it, so those essential oils and great flavors can come out. And this is Italian parsley, flat leaf parsley. Very springy, very bright, and a wonderful color. Give that a stir. It's beautiful. So this is progressing nicely. We've got all the herbs in here, lots of seasonings, and I'm going to start with the tomato paste next. I want just a small can of tomato paste, good quality tomato paste. If you're a starving college student, you probably will use the cheapest one, 10 for $1. And if you traveled to Italy, why don't you bring some back for all of us? One of the rules of making Sunday sauce, spaghetti sauce, is every time you add a can of water. All right, we've got the tomato paste in, 1 can of water, just a beautiful array of vegetables, herbs, spices. And it's smelling great right now. We're going to add some tomatoes. This is a box of strained tomatoes straight in. And then I'm going to add a can of tomato sauce. Again, I'm going to get another can of water to add to this, and then we're on our way. The sauce is working really well.